Hey everyone, in this somewhat inane luxury video, I'm going to talk about this Montblanc card holder, which I've had for about a year. I'm going to go over my thoughts about it, the general feeling about its materials and its quality, and I'm going to try to not drone on like an idiot going through all of the dross that no one actually cares about. Alright, so the Montblanc card holder, I've had it like I said for about a year. My one, if you can see, is in this blue color, which is I guess Montblanc's color, I guess. The other option is basically black. You get some other variations which are in some slightly different iterations of the blue and the black here. Now basically all of these card holders come with 6 slots. You can see 3 of them in this face, 3 of them in this face, and in the middle there's basically a slot here where you can insert miscellaneous random crap that you might want. Usually just going to be pieces of paper, sometimes coins. If you put coins in there, they'll probably get lost and almost impossible to resurrect, and they might fall out. Who knows, it's pretty much a lucky dip as to what's going to happen. Now as you can see, 6 cards fit into it reasonably comfortably, but you could probably load it up with 10 to 12 if you're really pushing it. So you can often fit 2 cards in each of these slots here, so it's not terribly difficult to stack cards in here. However, it will get really bulky and really annoying. Now in terms of fitting into pockets, it's relatively easy to just slide into a pocket. Because it looks quite thin, it's not really going to be that uncomfortable. Now in terms of actual aesthetics here, we basically have this Montblanc silver logo thing. It kind of sticks out, it's 3-dimensional, it looks quite reasonable. In terms of the color is actually quite nice. The blue is not over the top and bright, it's just kind of interesting, so it works with most things. On the other side, there's an embossed Montblanc logo here that's kind of impressed into the leather, which also works reasonably well. Now, in terms of the negatives, well, the main negative that I've had is sometimes when you're looking at the cards here, you can basically see that sometimes the leather will wear off. Now, because it wears off or becomes slightly marked, it can look a little bit rubbish. So to have a look at this, if you have a look at what's happening here when I remove the cards, you can kind of see that it's sort of worn, it's a little bit dirty. It's probably a combination of things wearing, a combination of dirt getting ingrained. You could probably kind of fix this with a little bit of polish, but it's still something you need to bear in mind. It probably isn't really the fault of the card holder, so much as the fault of the owner not really taking the best care of it. Nevertheless, it's something to bear in mind. Otherwise, the general workmanship is actually quite reasonable. As you can kind of see looking around it, nothing has really come apart. It's holding together reasonably well, which is what you would expect from a card holder. It wouldn't really be great if it starts falling apart, because that's generally not what you want a card holder to actually do. Now in terms of value for money, you're basically looking at somewhere between in Australian dollars, 250 and 350 for a card holder. It's going to depend a little bit on exactly which card holder you've got. So I have a Meisterstuck card holder. It's going to cost in the vicinity of around 250 Australian dollars. But there are different iterations and they're all priced slightly differently, seemingly with no correlation whatsoever to what the card holder actually does. It's basically just arbitrary pricing. Obviously costs slightly less in the United States. You can compare this to other card holders. It's probably par for the course in terms of pricing. Not particularly expensive, not particularly cheap. It's basically what you would expect for a card holder that is moderately nice. Okay, so that's basically my thoughts about the card holder. I don't really have anything else to say about this, so at the risk of droning on, I'll leave it there. Basically, my overall opinion of it is I really like it, it's useful, I use it pretty much all the time. I sometimes intersperse it with my Louis Vuitton wallet, but pretty much I use it daily, and it fits quite well into pockets and into briefcases and into whatever else I want, so it's useful. Now, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for listening. I hope it's been somewhat useful, maybe informative to you, maybe vaguely interesting. If it has, click the like and thumbs up buttons, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.